Okay, in this video I'll try to explain how the pin setter knows how to do either a out of range cycle, a standing pin cycle, or a strike cycle. This is the detector, which is kind of the brain of the pin setter. There's a lot inside of that. It's pretty amazing that they came up with this back in the 50s. But the machine is meant to do 3 different cycles on first ball. And it all depends on this guy right here is your detector rod that's connected to the deck lift shaft. And every time the deck goes up and down, it pulls that rod and it tells the detector what 3 heights the deck is at. And on first ball, standing pins, well, if you have an out of range, there's 3 of them. So if you have an out of range like that, the machine will go down to 90 degrees. There's 4 different sizes. There's 90, 180, 270, and 360. 360 is when it's done cycling. But 90, it drops down, and if the deck goes to 1 height, it detects an out of range, and the machine locks itself off so it doesn't sweep everything off. Since it can't pick everything up, you have to pull a hook on the back to clear it, and that way you get to shoot what you leave standing on second ball. The next is standing pins, where the machine comes down, the deck comes down a little further. The detector at that split second at 90 degrees can decide whether there's an out of range, standing pins, or a strike, depending on the 3 heights that the deck goes to on the first ball cycle. And it'll do one of 3 things. If it detects a strike, it will tell the machine, don't run the scissors, and go ahead and run the deck and set up a full set of pins and go back to first ball. But if it detects standing pins, it'll know to run the scissors and go from first ball to second ball, and that way you get to shoot your second ball. So the thing is actually mechanically able to determine which one of the 3 scenarios you have at 90 degrees. So let me go and run it now. Let me turn it on and we'll see if it'll give us the out of range. So you got 1 pin out of spot, comes down. Oops, I'm on second ball. That doesn't work. Let's try this again. All right. Out of range pin. Start a cycle, comes down, can't pick anything up. The machine stops right where it's at. The clutch engages. So there's a clutch back here, which we'll get into that on another one, but it's stopping the machine from cycling right now. When you pull the outer range linkage on the back, it tells the detector not to operate the deck and everything else, and it just comes up. The holding hook right here will drop down and keep the deck from going back down like it normally would. Usually goes down, up, back down again, and back up. But it'll actually engage this hook to stay down, so the deck will come up and get caught on the hook and stay up. So I'm going to pull the linkage and we'll see if we can't watch what it happens here. I pulled it, it comes up, the hook catches, it doesn't go back down, machine goes to second ball, rake comes up, and you're now on second ball, ready to shoot your spare shot with what you had laying. So go ahead, cycle that out. We'll go to standing pins. Okay, so you demonstrated the outer range cycle. Here's the standing pin cycle. Machine comes down 90 degrees. In a split second, it knows whether it's an outer range, standing pins, or a strike. So that time it said go to first ball, second ball, run the scissors, and let him shoot a second ball. So let me go ahead and clear the deck and we'll get a strike cycle. I'm cheating over here. Now it's at 180. I can flip this, get it out of 180. Comes down. Okay, you just got a strike. So it's going to do the exact same cycle that it did the first 2 times. So this will be a strike cycle. Through the ball, 90 degrees, the deck goes down further. It says, oh, got a strike. Light the crown up. Go back to first ball, set a new set of pins. So mechanically, in that split second, it does one of three things and does three totally different cycles. Where it'll run from first ball, second ball with the pins, or detects a strike and goes to set a new rec with first ball, or outer range where it stops the machine completely, so that way you can shoot what you left on an outer range. So hopefully that makes sense. Comments welcome. Thanks for watching.